won.
All right, we're not gonna do like an audio test
How did she know?
or anything.
She.
How does who know?
The second I hit record, I got a text from Amy. Like, how do they know? You do this to me all the time, and you don't even know it. The second I
What's she
start
text you?
recording,
Read the text out loud.
the second I start recording, within 60 seconds, you will send me a text. I don't know how you know to do it, but it happens so often that it's impossible.
I text you all the time.
That's true. I can't.
Who texts you
I
more,
can't read
me
her
or
text out
Amy?
loud because it'll dox her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse made a game where you shoot turkeys and say fake news on them. That's real. That's a real story.
What?
Welcome back to part 5, Pokemon Shining Diamond, or Brilliant Diamond, whatever it is. Oh.
Where the Pokemon are made up and the I don't know.
Yeah?
I was trying to riff off of it, but
You gonna do a very timely whose line is it anywhere joke?
I think it's not on the air still.
Are we on the air?
I mean, it came back, and then I thought it was still in the air.
Why would you think that?
Because I didn't think ABC Family or whatever they changed their name to really had that much content to pull from.
I just you were just so convinced. You were just like, oh, it's obviously in the air still.
Let me see.
When we're done pulling at this thread, I have a really good question for you.
Oh, you can ask away while I Google.
No, because I don't want to distract from it, because we will go on a completely different tangent if I do.
Oh, technically, it's still on the air.
Interesting. You're not counting syndication.
Yeah, May 19, 2022, the series was renewed for a 19th season.
Wait, so even though they replaced the host and remade and stuff, they just are continuing to go off of the old season numbers? I don't know if that's legal.
I mean, think about it this way: how much can that show really cost to make outside of just paying the comedian?
Yeah. That's a good point, I guess.
They got probably one dude doing lights and one dude doing the audio, and sometimes he doesn't show up, but who's really watching and noticing to care?
Maybe, I don't know. My tangent off that I did think about. So the way I thought about this, and this is a two-parter, which I know you love. So, do you think if you went back to the 1970s and you played them, and I know, right, going real far back now in all of history, we're going real far back. Do you think if you went back then and you played some electronic music for them, do you think they'd vibe with it? After a certain amount of time? Because obviously if they just hear it for the first time, I don't know, who the fuck knows what they'll think. But if you played some EDM, do you think you could find anyone who'd be like, yeah, this is pretty cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those weird things where I'm like, people say oh, you couldn't play this kind of music back then. I'm like, well, because we didn't have the technology. No. But I don't think people would be like, I reject this.
I think one you might something to think about is, or at least something I think about is the atmosphere in which you're presenting something, because just be EDM played in I don't know in a church is not going to sound as good as oh dog, we are in a sweaty basement.
Church does have pretty good acoustics.
Yeah, but the acoustics of the church ain't ready for ain't built for the
I guess so. I'm gonna send you the link for this again. What type do you think this Pokemon is? Even
the fucking bug?
It's directly in our history, but I'm gonna send it to you again. Yeah, the bug.
That's a bug.
I mean, you can guess the other one too. You think it's a bug?
Yeah, that's a bug and that's a dinosaur.
You think that's a dinosaur?
That's a fucking... Oh, wait, no. I forgot that there's a dinosaur fucking type in...
There isn't a dinosaur typing. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, are they prehistoric? What are they called?
You put some headphones in? I can hear myself echoing.
One second.
And I'm also slightly delayed, which is great.
Sorry for my professionalism. I'll be back. I forgot what the headphone thing is.
Jesus Christ. Hey, past Nick. It's me. Current Nick. Okay, I can't hear the feedback here anymore. Chat. YouTube. I go through so much to try to record these things. And other than Spencer, nobody gives a shit. It's just that. Spencer is not a scuffer either. Spencer will be fucking hours late or cancel in the most unprofessional
I
ways.
knew you were talking reckless shit about me. How did I know?
I called you unprofessional. You called yourself unprofessional. I was agreeing with you.
I can say that. I don't think you can say that.
Oh, what? Why? It's not one of those words.
Yes, it is. It's like calling someone a Puerto Rican.
No. I don't think you could say that.
Oh, is it a grass type?
Is this purple fuck a grass type?
Oh, no. The other one. Oh, no, there's a bug type. My bad. Oh, the purple motherfucker. Is he fairy? Is he a fairy? I hate that question.
That's rude. That's rude. What are you gonna ask if he's a fruit next? You fucking go back to the 50s. He's a purple Pokemon. What color do you see as purple in the typing?
Poison?
He's poison.
Oh, what the?
And he's evolving.
I feel like poison. I mean, it kind of works and it kind of doesn't work. You know, it's like.
Bum 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 bum.
Which crest did you use? Is this friendship? Is this courage?
I'm gonna send you a pic really quick. It's relevant.
Nick, this is going on the internet.
It is going on the internet. I'm not gonna put in the fucking video. Not that it matters anyway. I'm gonna send it on Snapchat, so it's gone.
Oh wow!
Immediately after, yeah, it's a dick pic. You can tell me if you actually think this is a decent shirt or not. All right, so.
All right, well,
And we go.
My sister just sent me the most insane text ever. Oh, that is a cool shirt. That is a cool shirt.
I like shirts like that are a reference, but like a low key enough reference where, you know, you're not gonna know what it is unless you know.
How can you know if someone is available to chat on Reddit? Is what my sister texted me.
What? Chatting on Reddit? What?
She's on like. She's on the nursing Reddit, and she's like, you know, using it. I honestly don't know why she's there, and I keep telling her, please leave there.
I'm just remembering that we were talking about how I recently found out that nurses are just like bullies, like female bullies in high school. I didn't know that for the longest time, and I learned that like a year ago. Not all nurses, of course. Hashtag not all nurses. But I just finding that out, and then you were like, yeah, have you met Melissa? It's the meanest person I know.
I mean, yeah, it is true.
Such a weird stereotype.
I think it's just yeah. I mean, users can listen to the last episodes. Also, the offer still stands. 200K. We will edit me out.
I forgot about that. Yeah. What was it? 1,000 to get Carlos out of the series, and 200K to
delete him
from
all
the channel
videos.
and never bring him back. Yeah, that stands. So what I was saying is, like electronic music in like the 50s or like the 70s, someone would be like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." Like, it's not going to be like every single person in the world is going to be like, "This is awful."
Yeah.
So then I have another follow-up, and it's going to lead to another follow-up. But
okay. So why do black rights?
No. Well, it's kind of close. In Back to the Future 1, when he does that music scene,
yeah,
and he plays the song, and he's like, "You're not ready for that, but your kids will be." Surely someone in that crowd should have just been like, "Oh, that was pretty cool." Like, the fact that it's just like completely nobody. I'm like, that can't be right. There's no way.
If you remember the scene, as well as the cultural context in America. So he gets played. He's playing the song, and one of the dudes.
Explain it for someone who hasn't seen Back to the Future.
Okay. Oh God, that's even.
Yep.
That's even more.
Well, so here's the follow-up, but we can loop it all together. What do you think? And you can send up in the comments if you have or not. How many people do you think growing up now have seen Back to the Future? I don't think it's the cultural icon that it used to be.
Oh no,
I would wager most people have not seen those movies now.
I think Back to the Future is in that
I don't think a single Gen Z person has seen Back to the Future.
I think they might have, but not by choice. You know?
No,
I think
it could be an overzealous parent or something. I could see that.
Yeah, I think it's different where it used to be Back to the Future was easy to view because it was always on TV somewhere.
Yes, which is no longer a thing.
Yeah, and so if you were like home, like sick at home, you'd just be like, fuck it, let me just watch this movie. And you'd be like, okay, I've seen this thing, and now I understand these references. But nowadays, it's just like, unless someone literally told you, go watch Back to the Future, and I feel like people don't really talk about Back to the Future like that. Like, I don't feel like, I feel like it has no cultural purchase outside of, like, I think our age group might be arguably the last one.
I would agree with that.
And so, like, I don't think any of my younger cousins have ever seen that. Nor do I think anyone's really brought it up of like, hey, you should see this cool time travel movie.
Well, so that's the weird thing too, is because people get on my fucking case about not having ever seen a Jurassic Park movie, having not seen Lord of the Rings, and
I've never seen Jurassic Park either.
Holy shit, I never knew that. Are we the only people in the world who haven't seen it? Holy shit.
Juliana is always shocked. I'm like, yeah. I was also like, I have no interest in dinosaurs. To me, I'm like,
I do like dinosaurs, but I got shamed when I was at the wedding over the weekend. I'm married by the way, chat. It happens. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I like brought up that I hadn't seen it, and like the guy I was talking to gave me the most like judgmental stare I've gotten in quite some time, and I was like, I've done plenty of things to judge me for. That's not one of them. Like it's so benign. Like
it's something you've shaped me in terms of like our friendship of stop shaming people for not having seen things.
I don't know if you just saw this, by the way. They said, "Oh, why? Thank you. We love it when people come to us to donate their Pokemon, and then challenge me to a battle."
Honestly, I kind of fuck with that vibe.
But yeah, I don't think it's like one of like the cultural ones. Like you haven't seen. Like I'm sure there's a type of person that go, "You haven't seen this? What the fuck?" Like,
yeah,
I don't think it's as common as other movies.
I don't think people. Okay, so for those who haven't seen Back to the Future,
yeah, well, here we go.
I would recommend. It's a fun movie.
I would say it's okay. I think you won't lose anything by seeing it. You'll gain some references and stuff like that. So it's not like I think it's overall it's a net positive if you see it. I wouldn't be like it's movie a generation or anything.
Oh no. I would say if it's streaming on something, feel free, throw it on while you fold laundry. It'll be a fun movie.
So
do not rent it. Do not pay to rent this movie.
Don't pay for this movie. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. If you can find it free, and also I'll even go so far as to say this: don't pay for it. Don't pirate it either. It's not worth pirating. It's just purely if you find it on a streaming service.
or you really want to talk to like old dads. If you really want to talk to someone's dad and you're trying to get in their pants, watch it. You can then pay for it. I think that you'll get a good ROI on that. But otherwise,
for our viewers, if you're trying to seduce someone's father, feel free to rent a copy of Back to the Future from your local Blockbuster.
But okay, plot of the movie: guy's in the 80s, gets in a cool car that brings him back to the 50s, and he has to figure out how to get back in time where he runs into his parents.
That is the worst description.
No. I mean, yeah, everything. I'm not trying to spoil the plot, you know? I understand.
It's in a cool car, now he's in the 50s. That is the best and worst description you could give that movie.
I'm sorry. Do you really want me to get into the minutia of Back to the Future?
I just wasn't expecting it. You glazed over so much of that movie. You didn't even name the car. Like, you just...
Do we need to explain the DeLorean? I'm sorry. He got in a car. Why is the DeLorean cool? Because you have to have seen the movie to understand. Like,
oh my god.
I'm not wrong for that. I have given a summation of that film.
Just, I mean, you have, but also you haven't. It's just...
I've reduced it to its bare element.
Schrodinger's description. I don't know why that caught me so off guard. I thought you were going to at least give it a couple sentences, but you tried to nail it in one. I was not ready for it. Oh my god.
He goes back in time, and for the most part, again, his mom falls in love with him, which makes sense. Honestly,
if you've heard of Back to the Future, the thing you've probably heard about is he tries to fuck his mom.
Which technically is not true.
No, his mom tries to fuck him.
Yes. Which, weirdly enough, hear me out on this.
Okay.
It's not that crazy.
Expand on that.
It's not that crazy because, one, she's obviously attracted to his dad, which he looks like his dad. Not like in the movie version, but I mean like in life, if you were to come upon your child and you had no idea and you saw them as an adult, not a baby, you didn't spend like 18 years of their life with them. I'm saying you ran into an 18-year-old version of your husband when you're like 16. You're gonna be like, oh, that's a hot man. As well, he kind of looks like you. So you're like, unless you have some really like depressive episodes, you should probably get that checked out. You'd be like, oh, that's an attractive version of me.
You have given more description to why his mom is attracted to him than you gave of the movie. Like, do you understand that? Do you understand what you've done here? Like, also,
People are gonna think.
What kind of Pokemon is the blue one? Or actually, what kind of Pokemon are both of these?
Oh, that's a water type, and that's a psychic type.
Look at you. The water type is my favorite Pokemon.
Thank you, Maz. And I.
Oh, that's true. That's this isn't Maz's final form, but yeah, the blue one is my favorite Pokemon. He's just so happy. He's a happy.
I remember him in the TV show. That's the only reason why I know he's a water type.
Long ago.
Yeah. But back to the Future.
It's just okay.
Sure. His mom gets the horns for him, but he's like, hey, if I bang my mom for obvious reasons, he'll fuck up the timeline. So he has to reset the timeline.
We're not Futurama. We can't become our own grandfather.
Yeah, he has to reset the timeline, which leads to a dance, which he then plays a Chuck Berry song. But since this is the early 50s and not actually no, it might be late 40s, not early 50s. But he plays a Chuck Berry song. The crowd's like, "What the fuck?" But really important is while he's playing the Chuck Berry song, there's the manager of a band is like on the phone. And he goes, "Hey man, that new sound you're looking for? I think I found it," and holds up the phone to him playing guitar. So, one guy was like, yo, this is the fucking future. As well as, you have to remember, because this is in the 50s, they didn't let black people play on the radio. They made Elvis and all the other white people cover black songs because they were like, oh, this is too erotic and whatnot.
Bluegrass,
so,
yeah.
So there's a little bit of, they just straight up were like, what the fuck is this new shit? But, think about it. Like, a lot of people in the 80s weren't ready for rap, If you played today's rap now in the 80s, there'd be a couple dudes who'd be like, oh, I fuck with it. But there'd be a lot of dudes like, what is going on here? As well as, whenever you hear a new type of anything, the masses, I'm trying to think of a great game that the masses weren't ready for, but has informed so many other games.
Ooh, that's a good one. There's been some good games that have gone on the radar that became cult classics. Not to drum up one of my favorite games of all time. I kind of think Okami was like that to an extent. Where
actually,
Okami
I was
really
didn't just like that.
Okami didn't sell well at all, but it's like a cult favorite, and everyone who's played it sings its praises.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And it did Zelda better than Zelda did at the time, so Zelda had to go and reinvent its formula.
Here's a quote from Carlos the first time we played Okami, and I know you're going to hate me bringing this up, and I'm going to say it anyway. Yeah, it's fine. I just wish it would jump automatically for me. I don't like having, that it wants me to jump on my own. Because you're so used to playing Ocarina.
Yeah, I just wanted it to be a Zelda game.
But I was just like, no. That wouldn't make sense.
All the every immersive sim ever is another great. Everyone who's played an immersive sim typically loves an immersive sim.
There was definitely a boom of immersive sims, I would say. But yeah. I mean, the start of that is The Sims. But The Sims was popular right off the fucking bat. Or I guess no. I guess The Sims would be the product. There would be games like Sim City and stuff like that that kind of paved the way for it.
Slowly built up, found an audience, as well as Deus Ex. Deus Ex System Shock 2 come out. Oh, this is really dope.
The second we start talking about System Shock 2, I just fucking checked out.
It dips again. Then we get BioShock, and then we get Deus Ex Human Revolution, and then it dips again. So it ebbs and flows, but it is always weird to I showed you that TikTok of the dude who's just oh, if you went back to 1960s NBA, how many points are you putting up in a game?
Oh, this one, yes.
And it's always That's the most annoying part about sports fandom, but it's a constant argument of like, if you were to take one random soccer player now and drop them in the 50s, like, how dominant would they be? And then people are like, well, are they using modern dietary things, or are they using like back then? Are they like working out like they did back then, or are they
Having
working
the
out like
stupidest
now?
conversations you've ever heard. Yeah.
Yes, just like, okay, yeah, thank you for. This is a dumb
Thank you for
question.
ruining the prompt. Thank you. We love it. We love to see it.
You must have been real fun on the SAT. Just, actually, why are you asking me this essay question? If that's true.
Hold on. I actually have to look this up. I know it's dark poison. I don't remember what dark poison is weak against. Oh, I see. Okay.
Darkness.
I don't know if this is true. Is it dark poison? Oh, no, I hit it wrong. Hold on. Oh, it's only weak against ground type. Ew, I don't think ground type. This should be fine, then. Skuntank is a real fucking bastard of a Pokemon because it only has one weakness. Whereas most Pokemon have, like, you know, two to four.
Well, shout out to Climate Change. Still rocking with us.
It's a great name still.
Also, what the fuck is this Elvis Presley ass Pokemon?
Oh, I got my blue suede shoes. Is that a thing?
I mean, to people who were pro Jim Crow, I guess.
Jesus. I don't know the truth about Elvis. I've heard both sides. I've heard sides say that Elvis was an advocate for minorities. I've heard that he actively held them down. I don't know the truth about Elvis. And I have a feeling this movie titled Elvis is not going to tell me the truth.
No, but like Elvis he's an interesting cultural relic, especially as time goes on, because I'm like, who's really into 50s culture like that? Like,
oh man, it was into 50s culture. The entire Fallout franchise is built on it.
oh, this is true. This is true. I'm sorry, because always in my mind, 50s is always like, why are you trying to go before Jim Crow? In my mind, history starts at Jim Crow, and then like that's when society comes around.
The 50s is is diners and all sorts of. Oh shit! All right, we lose my favorite Pokemon. We get a good one. Bum 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 bum. You're not singing along with me.
I would love to know the Pokemon that get rejected. The ones that they're like, that's a fucking shitty design.
We've seen a couple
there.
of them. There were some rejected from that were data mined in Gen 1 and 2 in the first two games that that we could see, and some were like they were whatever. They were fine. I don't really know why they rejected them. There has to be plenty on the cutting table or whatever it's called. Though there's no way that like they take everything go. There's no way. Like,
there's definitely some that they're like imagine. Probably everyone pitches like 5 Pokemon, right? But imagine being the guy who like
it's there's only 3 people, to my knowledge, per game who make Pokemon, and they usually add like 100 to 150, I think.
Jesus. Do you think they like each? They do that once a week? They're coming up with it, or do you think one of the 3 is just cramming it all Sunday night before the Monday meeting?
I don't know their names that well. There's one that's like stands out above the rest. I think there's like 2 that people really like, and I don't know their names. People in the comments, I'm sorry. I think they got a new person for this generation for the game we're playing now, and this is the generation where like a lot of the new Pokemon, I'm just sort of like, I just don't like these. Like, they just don't look very good. So, you know, that works out. I thought ahead while I was waiting for you, and pulled up a guide. Because we don't need to faff about it any longer than we need to.
Shout out to Prima Games.
Prima Games has long been dead.
R.I.P. man. That's back when men were men.
What?
No. Oh, that's
I
just
love that. I love that. And
I don't believe
I love back when men were men, and I love we used to be a proper country.
Oh yeah.
But like to the stupidest things possible. Oh, I got TM67. What do you think TM67 is? What move do you think it is?
A DDT?
Yeah, let me check. is this the DDT move? Let's find out. It's recycle.
Oh.
You didn't guess right.
Nope.
You guessed the DDT. The most famous Pokemon move.
Famous.
Yeah.
I will say something I kind of miss because now you got me reminiscing about the past.
Oh,
is
wait, I shouldn't do that.
I miss Prima games, like the walkthroughs being like sold in GameStop for like when I was really young and I'd get stuck in a game and I'm like, oh well, we're going to the mall on Friday, so I'm just gonna go to GameStop, flip through the book to the point that, and this is before I think I still had dial-up internet, so I couldn't like just log on. So I would just flip through the book to the point where I got stuck, read the guide for the next couple pages, and then like try to get that on my memory. And then when I'd go home, I'd like, okay, cool, we're on to the next part.
This is the same time period where you didn't have a memory card, which weren't that expensive, might I add.
Sorry, did I have money? Did I have money and a father that liked to say yes to things?
I genuinely believe that you could have found enough money in the couch cushions and on the street, between like scraps here and there, that you could have afforded a memory card on your own. They weren't that expensive.
I mean, we really did not have, like, my house was very clean. I never actually found any money in any couch cushion in my house. Fun fact. But you're probably right, but also I was a kid, you know? Kids are dumb as shit.
Do you know what memory sticks out to me? Because I only went to your house when we were youngins. I think like once.
Yeah.
I remember the one day I visited your house, and it was just a series of unfortunate events. I was going to visit your house. We were going to walk home, and
oh, it rained really bad.
It poured. Your mom took my pants. I remember that part. I could add context, but I won't.
Wow.
Your mom took my pants to put in the dryer, and we were playing Mario Kart? No. We were playing Mario Kart, which I did not like. I don't like racing games. And I remember you were destroying me because we were in like the battle mode. So we were in like the donut level where it's just like you're in a circle. And you did the biggest flex on me that's ever happened to me in gaming. And I think do you remember what you did?
No, I honestly don't.
Good.
But I will say,
this will make it even better. No. So what you did is, I'm so mad that you don't remember because it's gonna make you laugh. So you basically had beat me a couple times. I kept being like rematch, and you got bored. So what you did is you did picture in picture for the first time I've ever seen. And you put Digimon on the big screen, and you put Mario Kart in the small screen, and you stopped playing and just hid behind a wall and let me try and find you. And then I did find you, but I only had green shells, and I fired all three of them at you, and they bounced off the wall and hit me. I remember it so vividly. The episode was a season 2 episode. It was the one where they have blue Metal Greymon, because like they took like the dark spiral over it or whatever. I have never forgotten this. I don't know why that's a core memory for me, but it is.
Jesus. The only thing I remember from that day is you coming over and it being such like a novel thing of like, oh shit, there are no rules today. I was just like, oh, so you bring someone, the rules get thrown out the window? Oh, cool, we're about to run this fucking up.
Oh, like you didn't normally play video games during the week.
I wasn't allowed to play video games. I wasn't allowed to watch TV. So it was like a very big deal of like,
I didn't know you weren't allowed to watch TV either. That's insane.
No, I was until like 6th grade. And only because it was like, oh, you can now Google things and it's broadband, that I was like, oh, I can like go on the internet. But I remember like any cool TV show that I ever watched, I was always just like, oh great, I can only watch this when I'm at my grandma's on Saturday, because otherwise I'm never going to see this thing again. And being very annoyed when like soccer really picked up, of being like, oh, now I can't watch Digimon because the games are happening right when the show is on.
I don't know why that's so funny to me. It shouldn't be, but it is.
Do you know I lived in like a prison cell?
I do know that.
Like, it used to blow my mind that people would play video games on a week. Like, to the point where I remember in college, one of the major selling points was like, oh shit, like how am I gonna react now that I can play video games every day? I was very worried about my social life.
So my big thing was that for a long time the console was in the living room, so I had to play it like in public, which was like that was the only like downside.
Mm-hmm.
But but no, like as soon as I like bought enough money, I bought a GameCube. That was my first console I bought myself. And I remember because a big thing would be like if I got in trouble or on a whim, they would try and take the console away. They being my parents. I don't know why I said like that. Like this is some novel thing. But I was, and I remember when I bought the GameCube, I was like, "You don't get to. I paid for this." And they were like, "Well, we're still gonna." And I was like, "No, I can't. Like, it's against the rules. We live in a society."
We live in a society.
I can't believe we both went to that. Do you know how to start quoting more?
What?
I don't know if it'll mean anything to you. Do you remember in Spider-Man 1 when Norman Osborn gets kicked out of the board?
You can't do this to me.
Yes, but do you know the next thing he says?
No, I don't.
He says, "You can't do this to me. Do you have any idea how much I've sacrificed?" And so now, whenever I'm like recording and something happens in the game, and if it's something like, you know, minor inconvenience, I'll be like, "You can't do this to me. Do you have any idea how much I've sacrificed?"
I just said it at work. I said.
It's such a strong statement for no reason.
But yeah, playing video game. I remember, that was another thing.
Video games
I was
are
jealous
pretty
about.
poggers. We're playing this on a Thursday, so we're doing it right now.
Yeah, I was very jealous of you. I don't know if Pat had a TV in his bedroom, but that shit was
He had it
another
in his
thing.
basement, didn't he?
Yeah, he was. Oh yeah, because Pat's a different breed of cat.
Yeah, he came from a not broken home. So
Nah, and on an immigrant home, so it's really weird how we're friends with him.
I don't know if it was him or us, but one of us was either me and you or him were the only ones left. So
Yeah.
we didn't really have a choice. So this is the underground. I don't know what this really is. This was like added in this game.
Oh.
But it's basically a way to find more Pokemon and to find some like extra items and stuff. So I'll do a little bit more and then I'll stop.
Okay, so what's this little mini game you're playing here?
So I can uncover items. Like this is the second time I've played it, so I don't know it that well. I think.
Was this well reviewed in
Yeah,
the?
people really like this minigame because it basically is a way to get like a bunch of like broken items like kind of early,
Okay.
and like a way to get Pokemon who weren't normally in the game, or like not as readily available, I should say.
Do you ever think about how funny it is, like, to be? I don't know. Maybe it's different for you because I feel like you deeply engage with mechanics of a lot of games to the point where you have a high mastery. But for me, it's always just like trying to explain to Juliana sometimes what I'm doing while I'm playing a game. Of like, oh yeah, well I'm trying to like get this thing to drop, and she's just like, but it seems like you're doing the same repetitive activity.
And you have to be like, well,
Well, like, yes, but it's gonna pay off because I'm planning for the end. Like, my sister, a woman who lived in the same house with me.
you almost said a woman I loved, and then you took it back, which I think was very funny.
I love my sister.
But you had to think about it for a second.
Yeah. I have to think of the context. I love my sister. Sounds fine by most people. Saying it's different tone, very different.
I don't know how to leave.
But I was playing Guardians, and she was just like, "Are you watching something? Or are you playing something?" I'm like, "I'm watching a cutscene," and she's just like, "They have stories now," and I'm like, "You were in the house." It's weird that like my sister also has no understanding of what Star Wars is.
That's weird.
I
feel like you should get enough of that by osmosis.
I know more about the stuff that my sister is into than she knows about like anything like I'm into. But I'm also just like, nigga, how did I was in the house watching Star Wars literally all the fucking time. I feel like at a certain point, just by virtue of you walking through the living room, you're gonna catch something.
That's what I mean. Like, surely you stand around for like 5 minutes or so.
Like I know what Gossip Girl is.
I don't know what Gossip Girl is. Is that the one with that Donald Glover had a sex scene in?
Oh no, that's Girls.
Oh, okay. Where
Girls is wild.
Donald Glover played a conservative.
Oh yeah, that's a wild show. And by wild, I don't mean good. I mean Juliana watched it. Juliana watched it while I played Hades on the couch with my headphones on.
It's concerning.
And I would look up and I'm like, what is going on in the show?
I just know there's like a lot of sex scenes of Lena Dunham for no reason.
Oh yeah, I've seen that woman naked a lot, and I'm not happy with that.
It almost seems like a fetish in a certain way, where I'm like, do you have to do this? Is this important to the story? Like,
no, I get it, right? If I had a TV show, first thing I'm doing, y'all see my dick. I'm showing everybody my dick.
Why?
Just because I can. Just because someone's giving me a 6-figure check.
But you wouldn't lead up to it? Like, you wouldn't...
No, fuck that. First scene, boom, masturbating. Let y'all niggas
Why
know.
masturbating?
Straight from the jump, this is a freaky
what
show.
Does that
we
solve?
get into it. Nothing. But it sets it up. It sets up the mindset of what you would get with a Carlos Lopez TV show.
You deeply confuse me.
Hey. Yes, I confused myself. But tell me you would how deep into a season 1 show are we going? Showtime's giving you a check, so you know anything goes. It's not CBS. Hell, you can say a racial slur if you want. How long is that season? Are we like before you start showing your body?
I just wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No.
You wouldn't just to flex on people that you can?
No, I don't see it like all.
All right, then. Okay, so you get that you get that $1 million check. What is the outrageous thing you're putting in the TV show?
I mean, I never thought about it. Probably just say wild leftist shit. Like, we should defund the police. Like,
no, but that's
by
not
wild. By wild, I mean stuff that like normally they like HBO will let me say that. Network TV won't let me say that. Like,
oh man, network TV. I'd understand more because you got to get more tricky with the wordplay so that censors don't pick it up. But like Showtime, like those shows, like those channel shows, I'm always just like, you really gotta venture forward in the nudity spectrum. You know, you gotta show frontal with bush. You know, you gotta do like
there are requirements to do like a certain amount of nudity.
Nah, but I do definitely think that writers will be like, you know, what's an easier way to sell this show? How about we start getting hot people naked, and I will start writing plot lines that make people get naked, and then you can say
let's get into business so that they can see actresses and actors and naked.
I don't think you need I think it's just a regular thing of this person's really hot, or if you were like, oh, I have this storyline and I want to do this story about these two people falling in love, or you know, this hot sexy thriller they want to but they shouldn't type shit, you're naturally going to want to cast really attractive people because, no offense to us ugly folk, us normal looking folk, ain't nobody paying $25 to go see yo titties up on that screen if they lumpy. But
OnlyFans says otherwise.
I mean, OnlyFans is a different beast though. They ain't doing lines out there. They're just showing it. You know, they're just, oh, you want to see it? Hey, I'm showing it.
So you're saying that people on OnlyFans lack the acting ability to go?
Nah, there's gonna be a good actor that comes out of the OnlyFans era. I'm just saying right now, if you could get that big check without having to do an OnlyFans, you would want to do that big check without doing the OnlyFans. Only because I hear doing OnlyFans taxes is hellish, and at least you'd be making enough that you could hire an accountant and they could. I
mean, OnlyFans taxes can't be worse than YouTube taxes.
Shit,
I imagine they're pretty similar.
I hear they're not as great as well, but
I've told you that I have to pay $400 to do my taxes, right?
Yeah, that shit's some bullshit. As well as like,
but that's the funny
especially
thing is like because I'm one person, I have to do my YouTube taxes with my normal taxes. Like,
but also
so every
the thing
time I
with
do
only-
it, they're always like, "What did this person do? Why do you have so many weird things going on? Like, don't come at my life right now, okay?"
all your tax write-offs.
I get to write off video games as tax write-offs. That is a true thing. I file under software. That's real. Like it's not.
I mean, yeah, technically it is. I'm not gonna hate.
I'm a small business owner, sir. Okay,
All right,
I'm
okay,
entitled
job
to the
creator.
benefits.
But yeah, there's also the fucked up part about OnlyFans is like, you know, you got payments of like all of a sudden the credit card company will just not allow you to make a payment to OnlyFans because they're like that's porn / prostitution, so we don't allow it. But it is what it is. But another thing, yeah, there are definitely some dudes who are like, I'm really horny, like Quentin Tarantino and his foot fetish.
Yeah,
like, he's definitely like, let me put that shit in
Can
there.
we talk about that for a second? How weird
Foot
is
fetish?
it? How no, not foot fetish. It's just Quentin Tarantino. How weird is it that he has a publicly known fetish and gets actresses to do it, and people are just like, "Oh, Quentin." I'm like, no, that's weird. Like,
Hey, you
that's
know,
really fucking weird. Like,
Quentin
that's
got them
deeply uncomfortable. Like,
Quentin got them big allegations around his life, so like,
well, that's true. He has like multiple things wrong with him. Like, I don't understand the love of Quentin Tarantino movies. I'll say it. I know
I
I'm
get
gonna get flagged for that.
nah, I like. Okay, I can understand. There's two. But the thing with Quentin Tarantino, if you watch movies at a certain point in your life, the earlier pretty much you came up on Quentin Tarantino, and you were old enough to understand what was going on there, you're married to that shit for the rest of your life. That's just what it is. But the later you watch it and the more life experience you have, like, you kind of see through what it is.
I can see that because I saw my first Quentin Tarantino movie very late in life.
Yeah, I call him. He's part of that like freshman college film study in my mind of like, there's gonna be a dude in college you come across who's like, I love this director. He's gonna have a poster and he's gonna be like,
have the Pulp Fiction poster always.
Yeah, and he's gonna be like, want to watch a movie tonight? And then he's gonna choose Pulp Fiction. You're gonna watch that shit and be like, yo, this man's got taste and shit. And like, I get it. It's a fun time. I love to. Me and Juliana every once in a while we'll watch movies that we liked in college, but like, I don't. Nah.
Oh, like Shallow Hal?
I say what you want. Say what you want. Say what you want. Say what you want. It's all good.
You highly regard the movie Shallow Hal.
I do not. Now that I know better, I knows better.
Are you saying people can change? Is that true? I don't believe that.
Yeah, but also I'm like, if you watch a Quentin Tarantino movie when you're 30, I don't see that shit hitting.
No. If you watch Shallow Hal anytime beyond the age of 14, I don't really see it hitting.
Nah, yeah. If you watch Shallow Hal and it's hitting, investigate yourself. Investigate your
Need
life.
some introspection.
You need help, sir.
No. But the premise, Carlos, is that
Oh my God.
this woman is real fat, which everyone knows is very unattractive. So it's an implicit
know how-
comedy. And
you know how many
but this
fucked
one
up jokes-
this one guy who's really shallow, who happens to be named Hal, by the way, just can't see her as her normal form. He only sees her as an attractive woman, not Gwyneth Paltrow in a fat suit. And therein lies the comedy of like him complimenting her and her not being able to accept it, and her sitting on chairs and breaking them and stuff like that. It's funny because she's fat. Carlos, do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it?
Oh yeah, and then George Costanza has a fucking tail.
Yeah, and then Jason Alexander has a vestigial tail. Why? Don't ask questions, nerd. Just fucking accept it.
Nah, I might have to rewatch Shallow Hal now.
You really don't need to.
You might have to do a let's watch.
No, I
if
don't
you donate, I would do it. In a second.
The origin of why
No.
Carlos likes that movie is that for some reason, and
I
looking
had them
like
on DVD.
I thought nothing about this for the longest time, but now I do think it is. You were amazed they played it in school, and now I'm amazed they played it in school too. Like they played that movie to you in Spanish class.
Yeah, and I was
that's
like,
where
yo,
you first saw
yo.
it, and you were
No,
like,
that's not where I first saw it.
I'm pretty sure it was.
No, my sister randomly got the DVD.
Because your sister was like,
Fat people. Melissa has a lot of fat phobia. We can unpack that on a later day. But nah, that shit. I do. That was wild as fuck to me what they were showing. I feel like they were like Spanish class. You get to show whatever the fuck you want.
I don't know why you got to like. We watched fucking Pirates of the Caribbean in Spanish. I don't know why you got to watch fucking Shallow Hal.
I'm sorry you had to watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think the Pirates movie is pretty good.
I think that first one is okay, and the rest of them I was just like, all right.
I mean, I've only seen the first three. When they try and carry the franchise beyond that, I'm like, all right.
Oh yeah, after the third one, I saw the second one in theaters, and the third one I didn't even go because I was like, whatever. Oh,
there was like a brief window of time where so many movies are doing the bullshit. Here's the second movie, then there's the third movie like a year or two later, and I was like,
yeah,
you need to knock that shit off. I'm getting real annoyed about this. Looking at you, Matrix. It's.
I mean, hey, leave the Matrix alone. They've had enough troubles over there.
But I say that, but you know, I think Infinity War and Endgame kind of earned it.
Oh, I think those movies are different.
They put in the work.
No, but I think those movies are different because they're coming from a source material. Where like I can see
it's also that they recorded them both at the same time.
Yeah, like they did Lord of the Rings, but like with the Pirates movies and the Matrix sequels, I definitely feel like they were like, we're doing two movies, and they were like, where they had a good storyline for just one movie, they were like, well, fuck it. Well, they gave us money for two, so now we're gonna have to stretch that shit out. With Infinity War and Endgame, it was just like, okay, well, we have all these comics. These comics go there, those comics go there, and we'll just figure it out from there.
I mean, it was one comic, really. There was just one
Yeah.
plotline.
But like, you can go and grab the other shit.
I guess so. But well, why are we talking about this? Because it's Back to the Future.
Yeah. Oh shit. Shit. Oh yeah. I didn't. Oh yeah. We are. But
we covered enough of it.
Yeah. But why did you ask about the EDM thing? Have you seen the house music Twitter debates this week?
No, I was literally just. I don't remember what caused it. I think someone like mentioned the Back to the Future scene, and I like thinking about it again. I was like, I don't know that everyone in the audience should have been like appalled by that. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Which led the conversation. There are a lot of fucking bikers here. Jesus.
Yeah.
I was expecting a short jaunt here. I didn't think I'd have a gauntlet to run.
Cyclist Rachel.
What type of Pokemon is this?
Oh fuck, man. Is it the one of the psychic ones?
You think this is a psychic Pokemon?
It's got a fucking cross in its ears.
You think this is a psychic Pokemon?
I didn't look at its attacks.
I mean, you don't see its attacks because it's not my Pokemon.
Oh, yours. I thought you were talking about the other one.
No, I was talking about the other one, but you still got it wrong.
Isn't that wait, let me see the attacks.
The blue one is what I'm talking about.
It's a rock one. Oh yeah, the blue one is it's electric. Boogie woogie woogie.
It's a trap.
You better know it. Oh, you know you're gonna have to electric slide at my wedding, right?
Oh, am I still your best man?
More likely than not, unless someone dies.
Wait, what?
I
What?
feel like you.
No, wait, but you said more likely than not, unless someone dies. Unless I die?
I mean, yeah, then you can't. Like that's.
Oh, I'm not allowed to.
Yeah. What are we gonna do?
I mean, that's your problem to figure out at that point. What did I send you the other night? I want to hear your in-person reaction now.
What?
When I sent you a really dark text, knowing I was going to follow it up.
Oh my god, that shit.
So for,
was scary.
For context, this is still really funny to me. I want to hear your reaction, but so what I did was I got really spicy takeout and I was enjoying it a lot. But it was like, this place usually I'll usually say like make it extra spicy, and then like they won't. But this time they actually followed through and made it like extra spicy. So I was, so I said, I forget how we transitioned into it. I think I was just like, we're gonna say it no matter what. But I said to Carlos, sent him a really dark text. It was like, hey, by the way, just want to let you know, I might not be able to talk to you after this. Tonight might be my last night. A really dark and cryptic text. And then about 20 seconds later, I tried to wait like a good amount, where like enough where Carlos would panic a little bit, but not enough where like he would be like seriously concerned. And then I said, the burrito I ate was so spicy, and it's been about 8 hours. I think it's gonna wreck my beehole. and you were like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe you did that to me.
I was literally like, oh man, my friend really needs to hear me care for him. And then I was just like, oh, this man is just being dramatic.
You've absolutely done stuff like this to me before, albeit definitely in the same text, not two separate texts. All right, what kind of Pokemon is this?
That's a bug.
And?
A bug flying type?
Flying?
It's kind of levitating.
Is it?
I legitimately have no idea what it could also be. Bug psychic? Bug electric?
I actually don't remember.
Oh, cricket too. It's a slur. It's a bug slur.
Oh no. The lower it evolved from the one that we pointed out that sounds like a slur. And it's the same. It's in our chat still. I saw it before we started the recording. Oh my god.
You better never get subpoenaed.
Someone was bringing that up recently, where it's like, hey, if you ever apply for a loan, they're going to look through every single one of your financial statements. And so if you ever leave like a funny note when you give money to someone, be ready for that to come up. Learning about that firsthand. I'm just imagining someone's Venmo just being like, for drugs and sex. It's like, so it says here you gave a $150 loan for drugs and sex? And you have to be like, well, man, you see,
I would hate, like, if your Venmos were the bank wanted to see, because I have a lot of wild ones that I've just, because I sent one to Juliana that was getting in them guts, and she's like, my mother follows me on Venmo.
That joke wouldn't work if I did that to you. It just wouldn't work. You're telling me that Juliana doesn't like the term getting in the guts?
No, she's not like that. Rearranging organs, she hates all that.
What about the, like, dozens of times that I've sent you just, like, a slew of the worst vile sex puns I've sent?
Wildly enough, she's not a fan. She's not a fan of letting loose in that caboose.
I forgot about that one! That's not the one I always go to. The one I always think about is, coming in that tum.
Wow.
For reference, this is why we can't record things, because we have so much history. We'll like reference things like they're gonna know what we're talking about.
Oh no, you guys are all there.
I asked Carlos if he was gonna get Juliana pregnant, and then I listed about like 8 pregnancy puns, like coming in that tum, letting loose in that caboose, and so on and so forth.
Someone told me they were having raw sex recently. Juliana did not like that. I was stunned.
The term raw sex is weird. You can say unprotected sex. You can't say raw sex.
Raw sex is no, because you're doing something crazy, man. That's not on me. That is insane behavior. Just coming and not fearing the consequences. Just staying in there, holding tight.
Whoa, wait. Hold on. Do you mean like with random people?
No, with anyone. Yeah. Explain. No, but I mean no birth control. Because that's one thing, right?
Okay.
I'm saying like...
That's what I wanted to clarify. I wasn't sure if you were specifically talking about condoms, because I was like, I I mean,
No,
I may be able to blow your mind, like,
because everyone that people on the pill, people take the IUD stuff, whatever.
They got the dental dam.
Yeah, something that both participants having sex at that point understand of like, hey, we're taking some precaution. We could take more precaution, but we're not gonna.
And there are some people who are like, let's roll the dice. Ah!
Exactly. Oh, I'll just pull out, which is wild. But again, that person still is thinking like, I just want this nut, but I don't really want the consequences that could come with it.
Okay. You know what? Let's. Okay. Okay. All right. Just okay. Just let's relax. Okay.
I'm asking the real questions, Nick. Do not silence me.
You are alluding to something that I am not ready to talk about on YouTube, okay? And you know it, okay? I know you know it.
I'm just saying. Juliana hates that, like, when we're driving, sometimes I'll turn off the music and I'll go, let's have a serious conversation. And she's like, about what? And I'm like, about the issues. And I think...
So she doesn't,
She does not throw it back. There's no witty. She's like, please just leave me alone.
I don't know how to get rid of this thing.
We were driving to a wedding, and we were up in the fucking...
What I was going to say is real quick. So she doesn't say, what would you do if I just pulled the brake right now?
No, she has no interest in potentially what happens if the e-brake is pulled while driving full speed.
Sometimes when
and will we be friends afterwards?
Sometimes when I would drive with Carlos, he would be driving and I would be in the passenger seat. And in a moment of boredom, I would say, what would you do? What would you do if I just pulled the brake right now? It's like, what would you do if I just pulled the brake and just saw what happened? And your first response was, I would sue you. And then I was taken aback. I was like, what do you mean? We wouldn't be friends anymore? And you were like, no, none of you ruined my $20,000 piece of property. No, we wouldn't be friends. And I was like offended. I was like, we have so much history though. I've known you for like 15 years. What do you mean? Like, and you were like, it doesn't matter.
Oh, do you remember that thing Alex did to me one time? Which is similar along...
You're going to narrow it down. Do you mean watching porn with them? Like, was that the...
No, the family-friendly story.
I still don't know.
Something similar to what you said. Alex one time we were playing FIFA, and he, like, dropped the controller somehow, and I go to yell at him, like, dude, what the fuck? Hold the controller like an adult. He slapped me in the face.
I do remember that. I was there for that. I forgot.
And then he goes, bet you're not thinking about that controller now.
I totally forgot that. Do you know why that was so that had reverberations? Because for years, the three of us would just randomly slap each other in the chest.
Yo, sometimes I think about, like, high school. I'm like, what the fuck was I on? Just deciding to, like, physically hit people all the time just because, like, oh, hey, this is what we're doing for fun today. We're knocking the wind out of each other.
My favorite part was the first time you did it to me, and I looked over like, are you serious? I'm like twice your size. My arms are bigger than... one arm is bigger than both of yours combined. And you want to slap me? And, like, you'd always have this, like, slight tinge of, like... You had this... The first time you did it, you were, like, being mischievous about it. And I slapped you back, and you're like, oh... No, I should not do that anymore. That was a mistake. And then you still did it, but it was just, instead of the mischievous look, it was fear of, like, you wouldn't do that to me, right? You wouldn't hit a kid with glasses. I think it was just something I think you actually said to me. And I said, I sure would, and would hit you. Like, you always instigated it.
Getting, like, also, one thing that, like, really stops after you turn 18... You stop getting hit in the balls. It really, like, the rate of getting hit in the balls drops astronomically after the age of 18 and you're not, like, participating in sports or anything.
Oh, you would say the balls drop?
Hey. But I remember, like, in high school, it would be a thing of people just hitting each other in the balls. Like we just run around, here.
I remember that, and I remember dead legs.
Oh, dead legs. Like why?
I was really good at doing dead legs. Because I have giant fucking knees. I didn't have to hit very far. I didn't have to be very accurate. All right.
The wild thing.
No. Hold it. We're going too long. I keep waiting for a natural break, but now, of course, after those other videos where you had nothing to fucking talk about, now you're just nonstop. Thank you all.
Hi, shit.
Thank you for watching part 5. See you.